So this talk was also from Luke. The background is that I run the Ember, also the Ember, but the Elixir meetup in Toronto. And I work with Luke and a bunch of guys that are down there. And this was the first talk that we had at the meetup a couple of years ago. And I bluntly stole it. But I did write the code with Luke. So we work at PN. So this is our setup, basically. We are a Rails shop for the most part with a bunch of Ember apps. And we're trying to get Elixir into our system. So we're looking for something simple enough, but it's not working. So we're also the only two guys at the company using Windows. You can see why. Anyhow, really? I'm gonna stay like this. Okay. So the problem to solve is we want to build a URL shortener, which is something that we actually need for our business. And we wanted it to be fast because, as you just saw, Luke is obsessed with fast. So we decided to do it in Elixir. And we really wanted to have a nice UI. We wanted to have versioning. We wanted to have concurrent multi-user support. This is so terrible. Nice. Thank you. And we wanted to have two-factor out. So this is the UI we went for. Well, this is the line of code, and this is the UI. So we decided to use a Google spreadsheet because it offers everything that you actually need to build a UI like this. And if you don't know, it's actually exposed as a JSON endpoint. So you can parse your Google spreadsheets and import them in applications. So this is what we built. We have a URL shortener application, and it fetches from Google spreadsheet. It caches locally in case the connection fails. And when you hit a URL, it serves it. So I'm just going to go very quickly through the structure of the application. So we use Cowboy, and here we have only two for simplicity of the slides, but we have a bunch of listeners, and we have a simple plug that accepts requests, and then on the other side we fetch the data from Google, and we have a small, simple worker that basically returns like the matching value for the URL you're trying to shorten. So this is the application. We have just like, again, one application, two supervisors, one that is the Cowboy, and the other one that is our supervisor here. And this is the structure of our router. So our router simply takes every single request, maybe, hopefully, and fetches the matching URL and redirects you. I love the timing of this. OK. So the first implementation, which is probably the fastest, is just like statically hardcode the matches. So you just like hardcode it in a function. The second version was with ETS, but we wanted to give a presentation about this. So we ended up using a Gen server. And the way the Gen server works is down here. So it's like a standard Gen server. You start it, and when it starts, it will load basically the current version of the data by this initial map function down here. So it starts, and then it loads the initial version down here by calling another module that basically loads the cache version of the Google spreadsheet. And as you can see, like, it's very simple. If it matches, it returns the match URL. If it doesn't match, it returns like a default URL, which is our main website. And on the other side, the way we refresh the worker is every minute we basically call out to the Google spreadsheet API, download the data, and we push it inside the Gen server that is answering the requests. And this is the part where we fetch the data. So we use HTTP Poison here. And we simply parse the Google API. The hardest part here was parsing the JSON format, honestly, which apparently doesn't change, apparently, but we're not exactly sure about that. And yeah, as you can see, this is the parsing. So this is the only annoying part of the whole thing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, completely undocumented. So, OK, I think, yeah, this is the worker structure. So Justin down there is now convinced that he wants to rewrite this as a static Cowboy router that dynamically generates every time the spreadsheet changes. And he's convinced that he can make it faster. We'll see. Okay, that's it.